Hey, Cornbread review off the bat, bro. You might not like my review then, man. Yeah, so all in all, man, I ended up coming up 2.5 out of 5. Two of them things. Yo. 5 out of 5 cornbreads for the cornbread review. What you think? Yo. I told y'all, man. Welcome back for another Cornbread Movie review. I told y'all I owed y'all something, bro. Hey, we gonna talk about that. But we are here today. Another Cornbread Movie review. Every week, I told y'all I'm hitting y'all with episodes. I'm not playing with y'all, and I'm gonna have guests like we have today. So I want the world to know my guy, Fame. Welcome to the Cornbread Movie Review, man.
What is going on, everybody? Fame from Streamcast, and I am back with more of the little things in life that you love to talk about. I'm happy to be here.
I love it, man. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and follow my guy Fame, man. Fame, shout out your information so people can follow you, man.
You can find me at Ridge Streamcast over on YouTube, and you can also follow me on Instagram at Uncle Ben 90. It's _90, so Uncle Ben _90.
All right, so let's get into it, bro. We ain't gonna hold.
Let's do it.
We ain't gonna hold them up no more, man. We are gonna talk about the movie Suicide Squad 2. We are here to talk about it.
Yes, we are.
Yes. It's some good and it's some bad, and we're gonna get into all the nitty-gritty, bro. So definitely, from how I do my Cornbread movie reviews to y'all out there, man. So this is 5 different categories. All right. First category, acting. Second category, cinematography. Does it look good, right? Does it look good? Editing, everything. That has to be included. Third category, storytelling. Fourth category, did I get what I bought? Meaning if this is a superhero movie, it better be some superheroes in this movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like
super. There's some super stuff.
It's super stuff, right? But I ain't here to see no lullabies and stuff, right? So is it worth my money and my time? And then 5, is it a must-see? So first category, we're going to get into acting. Who is in this movie, man? I'll highlight a couple people. You let me know what you think.
Sure.
And maybe I might miss somebody that you had. But first, I want to go with Idris Elba. Man.
Got to, off the top.
He plays Bloodsport in this movie. To me, going into watching this, I said, okay, he's Will Smith replacement. Basically, that's how I look at it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Will Smith, you busy? Bad Boys 4? All right, we're gonna get some Idris Elba. That's how I saw it, right? Come on, man. Stop playing with him. But Idris Elba stepped up and played his role. How you feel like Idris Elba did it?
It's exactly like you said. It was like literally like a character swap, like an alternate color for Will Smith's Deadshot.
Yep.
Deadshot, yeah. So instead we had Bloodsport. Pretty much has the exact same background, except I think that I don't know if he executed it better than Will Smith. Will Smith put Suicide Squad 1 on his back. So I don't know if he executed better. I would say about the same level, which was top tier to me.
Yeah.
Yikes. He was fantastic in it. I loved him because he had that bad boy type feel, but yet he knew how to be. He was definitely brutal, but then also you did kind of feel for. It's like they kind of wanted you to feel for him, kind of like how Will Smith did with his daughter. But at the same time, you saw that dynamic between Idris Elba's character and his daughter, and it's like, man, even his daughter, she's been in a couple movies too. I'm like, wow, I recognize her. So it's like, so it's like this movie had a lot of huge celebrities in it, but I know we're going to get more into it, but I love this character.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with him, man. Every scene that he had, you could tell he was the A, right? He wasn't the B or the C in any of the scenes he had. So shout out to Idris Elba. Also, another person that we got to talk about is Margot Robbie, bro. You know how certain characters are for certain characters?
Yes.
Like her playing Harley Quinn is gold.
Yes.
Loved her in Suicide 1. Birds of Prey, the movie was bad to me, but she played a good job in that movie, right? Yeah. This was a good movie, which we're going to talk about, and she played the hell out of that role, man. So how you feel about Harley Quinn and Margot Robbie?
Definitely love that, even though we don't get too many references to the other Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn. Right. There are still these small homages that we got with her character to let us know that she was in these other movies, and these other movies are a continuity. You know, they are in that same universe. And so I love where she picks up from. And I know we're going to get to when we talk about the actual movie.
Absolutely.
But I think the fact that they were able to give her like almost her own story, and then still it wasn't Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad.
Facts.
But yet they were able to have it to where she had her own scenes and she was able to carry her own weight through her scenes. She was amazing. Margot Robbie's always great. I loved her in Wolf of Wall Street. So that's what I mean.
What?
That's how I got introduced to Margot Robbie.
And those scenes from Wolf of Wall Street?
And that's one of my favorite movies. So that's how I know Margot Robbie. So her coming back into this role, you could tell she was ready. She was ready for this movie. She was ready for a proper DC movie. So I love Margot Robbie in this movie.
And shout out, I'm seeing y'all DC and Marvel. Shout out to y'all for keep highlighting these women.
Yes.
Shout out to y'all, bro. This old age of the only character that women can play as Catwoman is dead.
Yes.
That's dead, bro. There's plenty of females out there in the DC universe. There's always been females in the DC and Marvel universe, but they never been highlighted, right? So shout out to her, especially women can run franchises too, especially with Wonder Woman. Like you said, you got Harley Quinn now, so many more characters, man. So shout out to her. And another beast, she ain't got to be no superhero to take over the scene, bro. Viola Davis, bro. Viola Davis played Amanda Waller. She was an old character from the first Suicide Squad. So obviously we're going to get into some spoilers, but from the first Suicide Squad is she's ruthless, but she's caring. She just cares just a little bit from the first one.
The first one.
I didn't.
The first one, yeah.
I didn't. So either somebody told her, said you didn't do a good enough job, or she said, watch this. Yeah, I didn't like the first one. All right, watch this. Ruthless. Yeah. Ruthless. She gave the definition to Suicide Squad. Everybody, if you wasn't a USA, she didn't care about you, bro. So tell me how you felt about Viola Davis' character and her acting skills in this.
I'm gonna tell you what. As soon as we got that R rating, she let loose.
Facts.
That 1% that she had in Suicide Squad went to 0 in Suicide Squad 2.
Right.
I mean, she was a damn near a tyrant. She did not care. I think one of her lines in it was, "You don't know what I'm willing to do."
Yeah, facts.
She didn't care, man. Like she didn't care about. No, man. She's like the evil Nick Fury.
Yes.
She's like the evil Nick Fury, man. Yeah, Viola Davis was amazing, and even like her crew around her, even though there were parts that would make me laugh, it was just like her demeanor. It would make me laugh also because it's like, man, she is cold, bro. She is cold, and just her selection. It's pretty clear. Her selection of members that she chose for Task Force X was on purpose, and she knew that a lot of them were just cannon fodder. Right. I love that. It's like, oh, I don't care. They're serving a greater purpose. I literally don't care.
Correct. Yeah, there means to an end.
Means to an end. Yes.
Means to an end. She was always playing chess while other people are playing checkers, man. So
that's it.
Shout out to her. Do you want to get into any other characters before I say my last thing and get into our ratings, man?
Sure. I just, especially with the acting piece, one thing I was looking forward to in Suicide Squad 2 was the witty banter that would come between these different characters, because you had a lot of different characters that were interacting with one another, even if they only had 5 minutes of screen time. Right. You had a lot of A-list celebrities in this movie alone, and it was just interesting to see how they were going to interact. One of my top character interactions was Peacemaker, played by John Cena, and obviously Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba. Right. Man, man, I was like, this is better than Hobbs and Shaw. Like watching these two, these two are amazing. Right. Like listening to their banter. I love Ratcatcher. Like she was Ratcatcher 2. I'm sorry. She was amazing. She had some really great, almost innocent moments, and just the way that we were able to kind of feel for these characters, throughout the movie, through their flashbacks, and getting to see a little bit more a piece of them. And one of my guys, I think one of the favorite parts was when he was just like, "We're all gonna die." I hope so.
I hope so. The dude with the polka tots. Yeah. He said, I hope so, bro.
I hope so. When I say I was floored by it, I was like, yep, this is it. Thank you. This is what I needed.
Yeah. And we'll get into the storytelling of who those people are and like why he felt that way, because you got more of his story later, why he feels that way, right? So I want to say something to Idris Elba and John Cena. Don't do no more Fast and Furious movies, bro. Stick to this. This is y'all wheelhouse. It's fast, get out of there. Just stop.
Ass 9. Yeah.
What? Toilet paper 10 coming up next year, man. So no, we definitely gonna get into it. So for the listeners out there, man, I rank each category out of 5, the best you could do. So you can get a 1.5 all the way up to a 5. It's up to you, man. But overall for acting, for me, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think they had great highlights, like you said, certain banters and things like that. But I don't think this movie, a lot of A-list celebrities, but they weren't really building it around the acting part. We're going to get into everything else. I felt like they stepped it up on, but 4 out of 5 for me. What you got, fam?
For a superhero movie in the DC universe to be R-rated, and you were able to make these characters mesh, I gave it a 5 out of 5.
I love it. I love it. That's what you got.
Yeah.
So next category, we are going to talk about cinematography, man. This movie, the budget was $185 million. And it felt like they were like, hey, we got $2 left. How we going to spend it? All right, make another make a weasel get up from swimming, right? It's like they used every penny of this for this movie, man. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I'll talk about, so I had a real problem, which we're going to bring up the first movie. I'm going to bring up the first movie a lot in Birds of Prey, right? I think the spinoff of Birds of Prey came from the first Suicide Squad. I had a huge problem with over editing. And what I mean by that is we got 30 seconds of the over editing in this movie. And if you've seen this movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. When Harley Quinn has the guns and she's just shooting and there's flowers coming out behind her, none of that makes sense, right? To me, it's like over editing. Other than that scene, perfect. I loved it. I loved it. Visually, what did you think about the movie, fam?
And so I would say just to that point in the scene where she's shooting and there's just like flowers and squirrels. For one, if you look close, you see the squirrels are starting to hide from Harley in terror. I loved it. I was like, this isn't all happy-go-lucky. Right. Secondly, I think that's what I loved about Harley's story, which is the fact that it was separated at a certain point, and it was almost like that callback to Birds of Prey, or the original Suicide Squad with Harley, and it kind of kept it away from the team, so it didn't go. You didn't see the birds or anything wacky to that nature when Harley was integrated back into Task Force X. Right. But I will say, with the R rating, we got to see what I wanted to see. I mean, there was only a few adjustments I wanted to see. I don't want to see Captain Boomerang throw his boomerang and knock somebody out. I want to see Captain Boomerang throw his boomerang and split some heads. That's what I want to see. King Shark eat somebody. I want to see Bloodsport shed some blood. And I thought that we got all of that. It was almost when they were in the jungle clearing out the militia, I felt like we were watching Rambo for a minute. I was like, Absolutely. Man, this is so precise. Like all these headshot kills and just like over the top like kills. Man, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, man, this is exactly what I wanted to see. I loved it. And looking at Polka Dot Man, like everywhere he goes, he sees his mom. Right. Like, man, the insanity, and we just get a kind of a look through his eyes. I love that. It was like, man, this guy, I feel for this guy. Like, this guy's in constant pain. So,
and imagine editing somebody having polka dots, and then it seems so fluid of him throwing it up, then he's normal. Like, that's a hard thing to do, but that movie made you feel that is a real person, right? They brought him to life. Yeah. So to the viewers out there, so this movie is on HBO Max. Please make sure you go check it out. It's 2 hours and 6 minutes, so plenty of screen time, and then it's rated R, like we keep saying. So I really enjoyed the creative editing of this, right? So I don't know what they're called, like subtitles or like titles. I don't know, like from scene to scene when he's like 8 minutes later or something will happen. They're like previous. I forgot what that's called, but it was very in tune with the scene, right? It wasn't just a black or just letters going across the scene, right? So I really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed how what's the rat lady's name?
A rat catcher. That's what they
rat catcher. So rat catcher when she was telling her story, but on the window it had the past of her story and her father and the rats as she's talking. This isn't just cut scene and you see it, right? It's very, you're in the moment and in the past at the same time. Very creative, man. Yeah. Very creative. So anything else you want to highlight with cinematography?
You hit that one on the head. I was going to speak on the flashbacks. I know part of that's going to probably be for the when we get to our next point. Yeah, but the flashbacks alone were so much better than what happened in Suicide Squad, the first one, because the first one tried to force it. David Ayer kept trying to force everything down our throats, and it's like, dude, it doesn't feel fluid. It just feels like we're just bouncing from the next scene to the next. This one, I got to know my characters. I got to
Right.
understand that they weren't just bad guys. These were people that have made mistakes or have done things. And
Mhm.
we're gonna get to in the storytelling, but that's all I got,
Absolutely.
because I don't want to go too far in when it comes
Absolutely.
to, yeah, because man, yeah.
Absolutely. So for cinematography, I had to rate this a 4.5 out of 5, man. 4.5 out of 5. Like I said, a couple of small things with the over editing that I guess maybe they only did it with Harley Quinn, so they felt like the people who loved Harley Quinn would accept that, right? But me, I'm just being across the board. It was that, and it was about 2 scenes that we'll get into the storytelling were kind of predictable, so they weren't very creative in how they were setting up the action scene or the surprise, right? So that's a couple of things that knocked it down for me, but 4.5 out of 5. What you got it at, Fang?
I balancing out Starro and his character and just watching like all the cinematography with that and just the graphics. I want to give it a 5, but then also if you look really closely when they're first getting out the water, you can see some of the crew in the back, some of the actual crew in the back.
Right.
So I might have to give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay. Hey, so we cooking, man. It's
Oh
headed,
yeah,
headed in the right direction.
we
So
get some
far.
popcorn. I'm getting some
We'll
popcorn
see.
with pretzels and M&Ms.
Hey,
Hey,
man,
hey,
more categories left, so we definitely gonna see how they do
let's
it.
keep it going.
So storytelling is the next category, man.
Yes, it is.
So if you haven't seen this movie, the best way I can describe Suicide Squad is they're the B-sides to superheroes, to the normal superheroes, right? You're not going to go in the grocery store and see these characters lined up, right? You're going to see Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Hulk, all those main characters. Suicide Squad are the B characters. You got to turn around or, hey, you got one of those? That's what type of characters these are, right? So to me, it's very hard, even though in the comic books, they've been there forever, right? Superman just didn't fight one person the whole for 90 years, right? He fought different characters. So they've always been there, but I think they were highlighted tremendously in this movie. How do you feel about the B-side characters and just what they brought forward? Because there was a lot of characters, like you said, in this movie.
I was expecting a lot of them to die from the jump.
Okay.
They were expendable, but I was definitely interested in them just by listening to their flashbacks, just by listening to their stories and seeing that growth that they were having as the story was continuing. I'll say it as far as the story in itself, unoriginal. I mean, it's a superhero movie, so it's kind of hard nowadays, especially superhero movies. It's getting kind of harder and harder to really make an original movie. So just, the whole concept of is, we're going into a foreign nation, we're gonna F stuff up, kill a lot of people, take what's ours, America. Like it was very unoriginal, but the way it was executed, and James Gunn knew this going in. The first one could have been fixed. All I got to do is make a couple of tweaks and we got a movie on our hands. Absolutely. I think just what you said alone, just with Ratcatcher, seeing that flashback in her scenes and having Taika Waititi's character be her father and have those memorable lines about just like how it's the little things in life and just the little things and little people that can have the biggest differences. And I love that you got to see that play out throughout the movie. You got to see it getting addressed with blood sport trauma. Trauma was a huge thing. And so I think that there was a little bit of a twist near the end of the movie, but it was unoriginal though. That's my thing. It was unoriginal, but I mean, I wasn't upset by that. I knew that. So yeah,
I feel you. So one issue that I had from the first movie, right? It to me, it felt very rushed. Like we got to get from start and to finish real quick. So I wasn't invested in what am I watching? Because I'm like, why are we moving so fast? Like slow down. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
In this, from start, first 3 minutes in, Rambo. I said, oh shit, hold on. I said, hold on, don't kill him yet. You killing all of them? You killed all of them, right? Yeah. And that's just the setup for the next characters we got, right? So I really enjoyed that. We're going to get to the first movie, to me, not the star of the show, but it was like they tried to focus on the villain. To this, the villain was the afterthought to me, right? And we're going to get into, like I said, the villain a little bit later in my next part that I want to talk about. But I was happy that it wasn't about the villain, right? It's about these characters and telling their story and things like that. The villain, man, I'm sorry, bro. Starfish, it was ass. I can't do it. I can't do Starfish, bro. I can't do it. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. I can't do it, man. It felt like it felt like I was watching Godzilla versus King Kong, but he wasn't a beast, right? He's not a monster.
Yes.
And you have regular people just fighting this big starfish, and he just randomly kills people, right? So he randomly kills people, but he can't kill these individuals, right? Like, come on, man. So what do you think about the villain and things like that?
Oh man, come on, man. That's plot armor. That's why they couldn't kill him. It's plot armor. Come on. But I mean, so someone that as a DC person, I love DC, I love Marvel. Starro was one of the first villains that the Justice League fought. So he's one of the very first villains that the Justice League fought. So I thought it was very interesting that they had Starro, because Starro is not like one of the big leagues that you hear of the Justice League fighting. You think of Darkseid, or you may think of Brainiac, or you may think of like Doomsday or something. Nobody thinks of Starro. Right. So Starro was like the B-list villain for the villains. And that's why I loved it. I'm like, this works. And it's like a giant kaiju monster, kind of like what you're saying. And it's like, man, like, they're really making this dude out to be like he's some sacred weapon, which honestly, he was a threat. Like, you got to think about it.
Yeah.
If those things attached to your face, you were dead.
Correct.
And that's and I feel like if this movie had been PG-13 or any less, I think that they would have cut that out. And I think it would have been, if they killed him, then everybody's free. The day saved. I
agree.
No, every single person that got a thing stuck to their face died.
And they showed when it came off. You can see
exactly. That's why I'm like, man, this dude's kind of scary. But I think the big twist at the end that really got me was that he really wasn't a bad guy. Like he says, I was happy looking at the stars. That's all he wanted to do.
They made me do this. Whoever that guy was with the dreads, the
thinker,
the Coolio dreads.
Thinker, yeah. Yeah, man. I felt for him. It's like, this dude wasn't like a natural born killer. This man was floating in space and they snatched him up. So
absolutely.
I think that once again, you kind of get this thing of, it's the little things that we take for granted. And that's what this whole movie's kind of feeding into. That's why I like Starro. I thought he was great. Could we see him again? Who knows? But I mean, I thought he fit the purpose for this movie. But otherwise, outside of that, like the whole Corto Maltese army and stuff, like I forgot his name because that's how forgettable he was. The pretty boy that tried to finesse Harley. She wasn't going for it. She ended him quick. Come on, bro.
Stop. Hey, at least he did his thing though.
He did.
Hey, it is what it is. And like I mentioned, a couple scenes were very predictable. They weren't, like I said, if it's part of the storytelling, is being creative as well. Just like in cinematography, just because you got money, it's how do you execute it? And so you could tell where there's going to be a plot twist or action was going to happen, because what they'll do is with the character, he'll be staring off into the window. He ain't did that all movie, but he'll be standing in the window. The camera will come right behind him. Yeah. And then he turn around, and then now there's a gun pointed at his face, or there's a fight, or something's happening, So a couple of scenes were very predictable. I wouldn't say the whole movie was, but and you did, right? But from my end, I would say everything wasn't predictable, but storytelling was just, it was above average for me, but it could have been better. So what would you rate storytelling if you had to, out of 5?
Definitely getting a 3 from me. Just because, like I said, it's a superhero movie. I know what it's like trying to create something original. Plus, it's hard to top a lot of these Marvel movies out there. DC, you need to definitely be thankful for this movie. So it's gonna get a 3 for me.
3 for you, okay? And for me, it got a 4 out of 5. Like I said, I think if I would have been more invested in the comic books growing up with these type of characters, I definitely would have rated it lower. But I think I was so battered from the first 2 movies with Birds of Prey and the first Suicide Squad. It was much better this time around. So
it's a lot of trauma to get past too.
Bro, I'm still hurt. You can tell I'm still hurt. But 4 out of 5 storytelling for me. All right.
Yeah.
Next category. Did I get what I bought? Right. This movie's on HBO Max.
It's on Disney Plus.
It might be. It's on HBO Max, right? So it's not like, if I already paid for the subscription, I'm good. I don't have to do the Disney Plus. You still got to pay $29.99 plus the subscription, right? So I'm gonna give you the honors. You are the guest. You want to go first in this category?
Absolutely. Did I get what I bought? 100% yes. For the fact is, I got to see this movie from the crib, and this is a DC movie, and this is a sequel movie, which means it's gonna try to top the first one, which means more money was put into it, which means it had a bigger budget. Did I get what I bought? Yes, absolutely, 100%, absolutely, yes. It did everything I needed it to do and more. Absolutely.
I agree. To me, it felt like I was watching Mortal Kombat all over again.
Oh
I know how you feel about Mortal Kombat,
oh
but
boy.
at least with the fatalities, how they were killing people,
Fair
right?
enough.
I'm like, oh,
Fair
I
enough.
wasn't expecting this. Like you said, the R rating, perfect. You know, it's a couple movies that make R ratings make it perfect. So when you watch Logan,
Yeah.
when it went rated R, I
Made
said,
it
"Oh,
perfect.
they're going to the moon. It's going to be a great movie, right?"
Absolutely.
So I wasn't expecting to watch Mortal Kombat in a DC movie, right?
Facts.
I wanted to see more Weasel though, bro. I was
Why did everybody want to
Weasel
see?
because it's a Weasel, bro.
He
What
ate
is
like
going
20
on?
something kids.
What is going on? I said, "Who is this guy?" And then he dies at the first 2 or 3 minutes. I was like, that hurt me. Pure action. Going into us, I said they don't need to make another Suicide Squad, right? Watching this, I said I'm glad they made another Suicide Squad. Yeah. So based off of those things, I was highly impressed. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. Did I get what I bought? Because I did not expect this. Once again, I was still traumatized from the first two movies, and they exceeded my expectations. So 4.5 out of 5 on did I get what I bought? What do you rate this category?
Considering the fact that James Gunn brought over just his crew, Henry Bram from Guardians 2. That he brought over his people, said, "Hey, this is gonna be our thing. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna release it to people on HBO Max." Yeah, I got what I bought. I'm definitely giving it a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5 from me. I love it,
Absolutely.
man. I love it. And to the last category, is it a must see? You could tell by our banter going back and forth. We ain't said one time, don't go see this movie, right? Why are we even reviewing this? So, jokes galore. One of my favorite jokes is when the shark said, "I got a disguise." He was like, "What?" It was like a mustache. And they cut scene and it comes back. He's like this. He said, "Bro, we know what you're doing, bro." So I love the jokes. Everybody had a time to shine, right? Everybody had their, let's say, 15 seconds of fame, right? Everybody had their little pockets. Yes. And DC, you have 2 in a row now. You got Justice League, the remake, and you got this movie.
There you go.
So y'all are on a roll. Do not mess this up, man.
Yep.
Do not mess it up from the Cornbread Movie Review. Yes. Before I give my rating, what you think about it, if it's a must-see or not?
Oh, man. Definitely I was laughing through the whole movie. There were moments where we thought it was going to be something serious, and then it just turns to a joke. I can't remember the guy's name. I think his name, what was it? What's that his name?
Melvin or something? Yeah.
Melvin or something?
Yeah, Melvin, yeah.
And Carly's talking to Bloodsport, and then she just calls him by Melvin or Milton. I can't remember his name, but she calls him by the wrong name. He's like, "No." She's like, "Really? That's not your name?" Like, oh, like I was like, okay, yeah, I'm loving this movie. And just with King Shark, you can't sit here and say you watch this movie and was not like worried that he was going to try to eat one of his own team members. Like that was my whole thought the whole time. Yeah. I was like, he's going to try to eat somebody. I'm just waiting on it. I'm just waiting. And I love that they kind of kept that going with him because he had the eyes like a shark. Like it was like, man, he really looks like a whole great white. So yeah. Just that suspense, that comedy, that action, the gore, and it was a DC movie. I'm definitely going to go ahead and say that this is a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 in the must-see category. Mm-hmm. I love it. So I'm going to give it a 4.5, man. I really, like I said, I was ready to kill this movie. I was ready. I had the pen to pad. I'm like, 2 out of 5, 2 out of 5.
Nope. Credits is bad.
I'm mad I got to watch this movie because I know the listeners and the viewers out there are going to make me review it, right? I knew it. But no, I was highly impressed once again. Is it a must-see? I'm going to say 4.5 out of 5, man. I enjoyed this movie. Matter of fact, I was about to watch it again for the second time to make sure I just didn't miss something, right? Yeah. So I haven't felt like that in a long time. So kudos to them for this. So overall, Suicide Squad 2. Do you want to give your rating first or you want me to?
Sure, man. So overall, I have Suicide Squad 2 or The Suicide Squad. I have it at 4.2 out of 5.
So, yep. So for my categories, that'll be a 4.5, 4 out of 5 right there. So I rank it down. So for me, it'll be a 4.5 because I think it came out to a 4.3, 4.4. So I linked it
yeah.
up right there. You know, I round up. So there you have it, man. Fame gave it a 4 out of 5. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Please let us know what y'all think in the I was going to say subscription box, but subscribe too in the description box. Make sure you check it out. I'm gonna have Fame's rating also with mine. Check out my 2021 reviews, man. We're not playing with y'all. We do this every week. Every week. I gotta change the font because it's getting smaller and smaller to put on one page. So now I wouldn't be me, man, if I didn't give y'all a forgotten segment. You know, so to the listeners out there, this is a movie where you have not seen in a long time, you have not heard in a long time, or you ain't never heard this at all. It is my job to make sure that I give y'all some movies that y'all can always go back to and enjoy. It's no BS over here. So, Fame, you're the guest. I'm always going to let you choose. You want to go first or you want to go second?
Oh, man, you could definitely go. You could definitely go first.
Hey. So, for me, man, this movie is my top 5 Jackie Chan movies.
Wow.
Jackie Chan has been in a lot of great movies, man. From the Rush Hours to Who Am I? Whew. A lot of people don't know who that is.
Top tier.
Top tier. And I'm giving y'all multiple forgottens.
You
right?
can't not know. Right. Come on, keep going.
Rumble in the Bronx.
Facts.
Right? This movie gave me these type of feels, but guess what? This is Jackie Chan when he was old Jackie Chan. This movie came out in 2017. And it's called The Foreigner. The Foreigner, ladies and gentlemen. This movie is an action thriller, but it's not just an action thriller. This is dealing with loss, depression, revenge, and it's Jackie Chan, bro. Like, come on, man. So please make sure you go check out The Foreigner. It should be on demand now because it came out in 2017. So once again, that's a top 5 Jackie Chan movie for me, man. So what you got over there, Fame? What movie should I go be watching right now, man?
Man, first off, I just saw The Foreigner maybe last year for the first time. That's all I knew. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, it's a good movie. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, good movie.
Just staying in the realm of DC.
Okay.
A movie came out back in 2010. It was one of the earlier DC movies, man. Right. It wasn't like the kind that people usually seen, but I'm going with a movie called The Losers.
The Losers.
The Losers.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
So The Losers is about a CIA special forces team that's betrayed, and they're left for dead, and pretty much they end up kind of going against their government. But it's got a lot of big people in there. It's got Idris Elba, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, if you've ever seen Supernatural, a young Chris Evans. So this is pre-Captain America.
Right.
So Chris Evans, if you've ever seen Stomp the Yard, it has Columbus Short in there as well, and it has Zoe Saldana. So you have a lot of Marvel characters that are actually in this DC. Actually, they're all Marvel characters that are in this DC movie, except Jeffrey D. Morgan. I don't know if he's in one, but still, it's a very, very good movie. Great time. I remember seeing it in the movie theaters, and I remember watching it when it came on TV. Really great time if you're looking for just good action and good fun. And it's one of DC's movies that's slept on.
I appreciate that, man. So there you have it, man. Another Cornbread movie review. With me, I'm Cornbread. This is Fame. Shout out Fame. Shout out all your socials and everything, how people can reach you.
Oh, man. I mean, like I said, if you're looking for easy XP, definitely go to Ridge Streamcast on YouTube. Punch the hell out subscribe button. Also, you can find me on Uncle Ben _90 on Instagram. I mean, we talk about everything kind of like what Cornbread talks about. So we talk about movies, we talk about games, we talk about animes. We just like to have a good time. So if you want to come on over and check us out, definitely do so.
Hey, and I appreciate you for even blessing the podcast. I mean, I said the podcast, the Cornbread Movie Review.
I know what you meant.
I'll be moving, bro. I'll be working all the time. It's all we all a family, here. So I really appreciate your time, man, and your input.
I appreciate.
We're gonna have you on here more, right? To the viewers out there, let me know what you think, man. Should we have Fame on again, or get Fame out of here? Curse him out. Curse him out. Hey, I'm here for that. I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna like the button. I'm like. But no, make sure you like, subscribe, man. We love y'all again. I'm gonna be back next week though. So appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all. Peace.